1947, third quarter. In the remote corners of the earth lay the workshops of the atom. Ever-expanding plants, factories and laboratories. Around them, new mushroom communities of working thousands. Here were the new cities of the atomic age. Here, the nuclear scientists strove to harness their new force. It was a force of great promise, of new advances in medicine and biology, of unlimited power to do the world's heavy work. But as the atom yielded its secrets, so these became men's secrets. The atomic plants were screened by the iron curtains of national security. Used but twice in war, atomic power had slain hundreds of thousands of men, women, and children. And so, the nations guarded their atomic secrets, until such time as man's mastery of nature could be balanced by mastery of himself. War still plagued the earth because of hatreds, political, racial, caste and class. In Greece, the mountains were a battleground. Government forces increased their attacks on the communist guerrillas. But as each pocket of resistance was reduced, so new pockets arose to prolong the fight. And, as always in war, the people suffered. War in Greece and war in Indonesia. The Dutch termed it a limited police action. The Republicans termed it a struggle against recolonization. The Dutch swept across Java, seizing plantations, ports, and roads. But as the Republicans fell back, so they scorched the earth. And, as always, the people suffered. Trouble in Indonesia and trouble in Palestine. Ever since the first days of the Palestine Mandate, Britain had sought settlement between Jew and Arab. Her task was to establish a national home for the Jews and, at the same time, respect the rights of the Arabs. To preserve the balance, Britain tried to limit Jewish immigration. For each shipload of refugees admitted, many others were sent back. And all the while, the Jewish extremists continued their attacks. As each day passed, more bombs were thrown. More buildings were damaged. More trains were wrecked. More lives were lost. In a series of roundups, British troops brought in terrorists, members of the Argonne and Stern gangs. But still the attacks went on. So Britain laid the problem before the United Nations. A UNO committee arrived in Palestine to investigate the situation at first hand. But even before the issue was decided, Britain announced her policy. Mr. Creech Jones said,
I have been instructed by His Majesty's government to announce with all solemnity that they have consequently decided that in the absence of a settlement, they must plan for an early withdrawal of British forces and of the British administration from Palestine.
At Bombay, units of the British Army embarked on the liner Georgic. And Lord Louis Mountbatten, the ex-Viceroy, was there to wish them farewell. After 2 centuries of rule, Britain was handing over power in India, the land which had been her hope and her pride. her shame and her increasing care. The British move meant self-government for 400 million people of widely different religions and creeds. 400 millions now divided into two dominions, Muslim Pakistan and Hindu India. In the great cities, Independence Day was a day of rejoicing. In Delhi, Lord Louis, now Governor General of the Dominion of India, was given a tremendous reception. From the roof of the Congress building, Pandit Nehru beseeched the milling crowds to keep order. But joy was not to be confined. But elsewhere, Independence Day was a day of death. The roads on the Pakistan border streamed with refugees. Men, women, and children fled from the mass murders of Hindu-Muslim strife. And at the roadsides, the vultures fattened. In crammed and filthy refugee camps, breeding grounds for every disease, Lady Mountbatten listened to appalling stories of looting, butchery, and rape. Meanwhile, in the towns, the slaughter went on. And in the midst of carnage, the rains came. India had found her independence, but when would she find peace?